Hi. So today we're going to discuss the threes. And what I mean by the threes is you need three things to get better hatches, three things for brooding, and three things for grow outs. Coincidentally, there's three different important stages of bird's life. So that's a lot of threes. But on this episode of the Poultry Nerds Podcast, we're going to talk about the threes of chicks.
I just made that up. I just decided to do the three things that seemed important to me to do
But
it.
I mean, if you think about it though, so okay, so we'll start with the egg.
Mm-hmm.
You want to select a good egg. If it's a quail, you don't want to pick a 8 or a 9 gram egg unless it's a button. You'll want a smaller one then. You kind of want those 10, 12, 14, 15 gram eggs. If we're talking about a bantam chicken or something along those lines, or game fowl, the smaller, like even silkies, you're going to want around a 45, 47 gram egg, something like that. Not the pullet eggs, large fowl, 55-ish, something like that. But I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have dinosaur chickens. So on your buffs, what size egg do you look for when you're selecting the eggs for incubating?
You're like the second person this year to ask me that. And I don't know that I've ever actually weighed an Orpington egg. But since I know how much a breast egg weighs, I would have to guess it's in the 50-gram area. I just know what a pullet egg looks like and a full-size egg. I know the difference with my I mean, once you have a line for so long, you know
Oh yeah.
what they're doing. And so I just know, and I'm just really picky. You don't want to you never want to set a pullet egg.
Mm-mm.
And
And that's
and
awful tempting. Awful tempting.
I'm
Like
I'm over it.
I but okay, Hatchaholics Anonymous, it should be a real thing. Because I mean, that chirping sound.
No, resist.
You must always resist the temptation. That
Yes.
is definitely a thing.
And it's bad juju to sell pullet eggs. I'm just going to put that out there.
No,
But
that's a jerk move. That's what
yes.
that is. But
But you don't
people
want
do
any
it.
you don't want any torpedo looking eggs. You don't want any now excluding silkies. I know those kind of come in different shapes, but to
Yeah.
maybe I don't know anything about silkies. Maybe that's just bad selection. I have no idea. So do they come in golf ball shapes? I think they do. I've seen them, but should they? I don't know. That would be a silky person question. But
Right.
the Orpington eggs, they just look like eggs. They're egg shaped.
So do they weigh about the ones that you would select? Would they weigh about the same size as your breasts?
I think they're slightly lower. So I
Okay.
usually set breast eggs at 55 to 60, which I do weigh them. So I don't know why I weigh one and not the other one. Um, I
Yeah,
would,
but I mean, just for reference, if you do 55 to 60 for the breast, then 50 to in that range for an 8 or 9 pound chicken seems kind of small for that huge of a chicken, but
well, I mean,
you
that's just
feed
how
them
they're
good.
bred. That's just how they're bred.
Yeah.
So, some, like a leghorn lays a larger egg than their body size because they're bred that way.
And so I used to have I had some white leghorns
Mm-hmm.
because, they lay really good eggs. And that was a story that I gave my wife when I first wanted to get back into chickens. Just going to get a few.
Mm-hmm.
So my little white leghorns, they're smaller than dang game fowl. They're probably 4 pounds maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And they're they'll pop out a daggum 60-gram egg, and I'm like, "Whoa, girl, you okay?" But like that's the thing for them, the extra large eggs, and yeah, they hatch out pretty small.
Yeah. So, I mean, it may just be my line of Orpingtons. You've got to, you've got pros and cons to everything. And so to get the size of the bird that I get, you have to sacrifice laying, and that may also be sacrificing egg size.
I
So,
don't know now because like my reds and other people that I know that have other standard bred birds, they all say the egg laying sucks.
mhm.
A couple of weeks about all you getting. 3, 4. You ain't getting 6, 5, 6, 7 of them.
Yeah, no, I would say my Orpingtons, maybe 3, 4 eggs max per week per bird. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. And only maybe 4 months out of the year, maybe.
Yeah, they're kind of like turkeys.
Then they go broody. Then they're nasty. I got one that bites like a dog. If I can figure out which one she is, because I'm walking across, they're all like in a mass. I go in. Okay, so story time. So I go in to feed the Orpingtons in the main coop, which I have
Mm-hmm.
like 50 in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
They run in a counterclockwise circle around me. Is that because we're in the northern hemisphere? So if you're
No, them
listening and you're in
things
this,
waddle.
if you're in
They're
the
huge.
southern hemisphere, do your chickens run clockwise or counterclockwise? Because mine run backwards, counterclockwise. Now you're going to have to pay attention tomorrow when you feed yours. So mine run in a circle
Like I'm
around
sitting here
me.
thinking, like, which
They do. I'm going to have to
man,
take
you
a
messed me
video.
up.
Okay, so then I go to feed them, and of course they're all running around me, like a tornado. And one of them every morning grabs a hold of my right calf and bites the fire out of it, and the one in front of me gets kicked. So she just gets
Oh,
kicked by default.
I've got a turkey. Like I've got a grow out that's got like some breast hens, some red hens, and some turkeys in it. Like
Really?
they're, I mean, well, I mean, it's pretty big. It's bigger than your runs.
Okay.
And like this one turkey all the time will like right at the back of my knee.
Mm-hmm.
And like, mm, I have, we haven't connected yet but one day I'm probably going to slap it right in the head
We're gonna have a turkey sandwich, huh?
and hit. Cause I've got to where I can move my leg and it's kind of, it'll be like, okay, fine, whatever. But other days, it's like, hurry up and dump that crap out. Cause I've got, one of the troughs is a 6-footer and the other ones are 4-footers that I put the feed in. And like that one, it's big.
Mm-hmm. So you've got turkey grow outs this time of year? Wow. Yeah, mine haven't started laying yet. They were thinking about it, and then we got cold.
Well, you know, my turkey grow out is they're a few months old.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
I ain't got no poults.
we got digressed.
That's
Is that a
okay.
word? Digressed? So egg
Tell me
selection.
this. We
What?
got our selection. We talked about the shape. Do you look at pitting? You don't want any like you want it to be not maybe not perfectly smooth, but like I don't want mountains and craters in mine.
Mm-mm.
And if for me, if it ain't supposed to be spotted or speckled or anything like that, I don't want it. Like if it is supposed to be, then I'm going to make sure, those are the way they're supposed to be. But like on my reds, it's supposed to be a brown egg, not a spotted brown egg or nothing like that. So I'm not doing any spotted eggs. I won't set them.
Hmm. I don't get any spotted eggs. I don't
You
like them
know,
myself personally, but
only yeah.
they
I
taste
don't do
funny.
that.
I got told
I
yesterday
mean, I
brown
could go
eggs
for an
taste
egg.
funny.
So look, I have a customer that buys feed from me,
Mm-hmm.
and this dude says his wife must, like, he's got some white leghorns because she will not eat a brown egg. She said it tastes different. I just looked at him. He was like, "Hey man, happy wife, happy life. I ain't arguing with it. I get it. I understand. I can't tell the difference, but that's what she wants. That's why we have them." I said, "Hey,
Gotcha.
I understand." Um, one of the other things, because we're talking about the three
Mm-hmm.
things to get a better hatch, is, and I see people doing this all the time, is candling. Well, I candled on this day, and I candled on that day, and this one's not fertile, and I'm not sure about this one. How often do you candle your eggs?
Never. Well, okay, mostly never. The big eggs, like the turkey eggs, the duck eggs, or the chicken eggs, I will candle when I'm taking them out of the setter. But when I say I candle, that means I plop the tray on my desk and I take the candler and I go bam, 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 bam. I don't pick up the egg. If it has an air cell, it goes in the basket. If it's clear, it stays, and I dump them at the end.
So for me, I'll slide the tray out. I've got, and Rebecca shared this on her page a while back. It's a green, like, laser pointer thingy
Mm-hmm.
that's, I hope it don't blind chicks, but it's pretty dang bright. But I will slide the thing out and I'll just,
Mm-hmm.
and that's as quick as it goes
Mm-hmm.
on those big eggs, like you said, the turkeys and stuff, because when they blow up in your incubator, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that for just a minute. People say that they candle because they don't want an egg exploding. So that has been a big topic in our new Facebook group, Incubation Masterclass.
Mhm.
And people think that their eggs will explode. Now, I am willing to go out on a limb and say that I have incubated and hatched hundreds of thousands of eggs at this point. I have never had one explode.
Well, let me tell you something. Be glad,
Yeah.
because that's what got me kicked out of the house with one of my original incubator, the big one. And I don't I personally think that it was my fault, because I put an egg in there that I found, probably, that
Um,
I maybe didn't collect for a few days during the summer, and then it just popped up out of nowhere. Like, you know how if they lay on the ground or in shavings or something, they'll hide them. And yeah, I think that's what happened, because since I have refined my practices of egg collection, I have not had that happen, because I didn't realize that it was like a game of hide and go seek
mhm.
until like the second time that happened. But like, when you way back when you would use real eggs for Easter egg hunting,
Mhm.
and sometimes you'd find one or two with a lawnmower a few months later, and that's about how the smell goes.
Now, I agree that they stink, but I've never had one explode. Even with all of the smells in my barn, which I'm accustomed to at this point, is what I'm told, that if I walk in there and I can smell one off,
Well, I
and
mean, like,
that
it's not a violent explosion.
they ooze and they have an
Bad.
odor about themselves, and
Hmm.
you can find it because it looks like great stuff is on the outside of the egg, is what it
Yeah,
looks
the
like.
spray foam looked like some
Yes.
spray foam leaked out of it.
Yeah. And so
Hmm.
that's the egg you want to find. And you
Hmm.
want to find it very carefully. Now, I'm not saying I've
Mm.
never had one of those because I have ducks and that's what's going to happen. But I've never had one explode. Now, when you smell it, you go to your incubator and you very carefully pull the trays until you find it. You don't want to
Yep.
disturb it.
No.
And then you take a plastic bag over like a grocery bag over your hand, and you
Mm-hmm.
very carefully pick it up because you don't want to squeeze it.
Yeah.
And then
Very
you
carefully.
very carefully turn it out and tie it in a knot, and then you
Mm-hmm.
go outside. Now,
Yeah.
if you're feeling adventurous, you could not tie it and throw it. It will explode in the air from the force of throwing it,
Mm.
and you will smell it
For a
for a
while.
few days,
Uh-huh.
depending on the heat outside. So
Yep.
we we do just we throw them anyway, but we have pigs. Once the pigs are gone, I might not do it anymore. But I only have that problem with the ducks because
I
the
mean, you
ducks
need to
like to.
keep like 1 or 2 pigs.
Nope. The ducks will bury their eggs and, they get missed sometimes. But
Mm-hmm.
now I'm so, I guess, don't care at this point. If I even think that that egg has been there more than 2 days, um, in cool weather, it just gets chucked. It's not worth it. Mhm.
Mm-mm. Nope.
But I'm getting everybody trained to lay in nests, though. If you can do that, that solves a lot of problems.
Yes, it really
Um,
does.
Milk crates and straw is what I have decided that the breasts really like, and they like to throw out most of it,
I
and
don't
then
know
kind of.
anything that don't love a milk crate with some straw.
No, no, the Orpingtons don't. I gotta
Really?
still no, no.
Well, they can't get up in it probably. They're
The
too
Orpingtons are
they're
like the
too
ducks.
fat.
They just like, oh, something fell out of my butt over there. That's what the ducks do. They just walk
Yeah.
across the yard and see, there's
Oh,
one
what
over
was that?
there.
Oh. Hmm.
Orpingtons are about the same way. Okay, so we are not candling people. We don't promote it in our Facebook group. If you wanted to candle before you set, just to make sure there's no cracks to prevent a oozing egg, I can get behind that. I
Yeah.
cannot get behind fixing cracks with wax because that's going to impact the oxygen exchange during incubation. I can't get behind opening the incubator
I
17
mean,
times.
yeah, that's the biggest thing for me is even though with a cabinet incubator they recuperate pretty fast when they're open and closed, it's a sudden climate change and that's just not good for hatching.
Mm-hmm.
Period. And again, when we've talked about people, I always hear people say, "Well, when they're outside, yes, I get it. But when you take the hatching away from Mother Nature and try to do it yourself, you got to be precise."
So I read a study actually yesterday, and they watched broody hens. They were leghorns over Rhode Island Reds, I think.
Yep.
And they there are certain times during the 21 days that the embryo can withstand a temperature change. And if you candle during those times, you won't cause as much damage. Well, these researchers watched the broody hens. They only got off their nests in the middle of warm days,
Yeah.
never at night, and never during those periods of development that it would hurt the eggs.
Okay. That's
So Mother Nature knows.
yeah. And like, you know, chickens are dumb. They do dumb stuff. But when it comes to stuff like that, it's like with feed. When they eat feathers, they know that feathers contain methionine. So it's like they know what's going on, but sometimes they just do some of the dumbest crap. I don't get it.
Okay,
Um,
last is turning.
Turning.
Turning, you got to turn your eggs.
I mean, I
Now,
like mine tilted.
okay, so during all of this research and stuff, tilting at a 38 to 45-degree angle is optimum.
Ooh, now we're going to get nerdy, y'all.
Yeah, that's for chicken eggs. Now, there is some back and forth on quail eggs that they may do better on their sides because they have more surface area that way than a chicken egg. And their shells are thinner. The problem with the study is he
Somebody
only
got some
said,
thin-shelled quail eggs?
well, thinner than chicken is what they do. They compare them to chicken. So the problem with the study is he only said I use standardized incubators. He didn't say I tilted them at this degree, I rolled them, I propped the incubator. He didn't say how he did it. So
Well, that ain't a study.
I know exactly, right? So, but he put quail eggs vertical, fat side up, vertical, skinny side up, on their side, and no turn. Those were the four
So what was better?
parameters on their side. But again, we don't know, were they on their side and rocked, tilted,
I was going to say,
or
were they
rolled like a
tilted or
360?
rolled?
We don't know. But I'm going to go on a limb and assume tilted because that would be a standard incubator. Right? You couldn't put them vertical in a Nature Right 360 style, right? So if you put them all in the same incubator but in different, you know what I mean?
Might have
You would
tested
have to
out.
be tilted. I don't know. I could test it. It wouldn't be hard. But it kind of would make sense because the quail egg would, I could see that. But again, we got to cram more in there, right? What we don't
I
want to
mean, when you're
do,
sticking 2,000 eggs in an incubator,
yeah,
one or two just kind of really doesn't.
what we don't want to do is put emu eggs, goose eggs, chicken eggs, and quail eggs all at the same time in a small incubator.
No.
No, you
All
want
right.
somewhat similar.
3 things for better brooding.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep them hot,
Mm-hmm.
dry,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to feed them good.
Mm-hmm. They also need some airflow. I'm going to pick that one up for the dry because they need
I
air.
mean, they need to breathe.
Yeah,
I
not
was
just.
scrolling today and I saw somebody said, "Help, my eggs, I just got notification that my hatching eggs have shipped and I don't have an incubator yet."
You did not see that post.
I was like,
Dude, procrastinate much?
I mean, I thought I was bad with procrastination, but dang. And it
Wow.
really kills another post that I see all the time, a lot lately, is best Amazon incubator for under $50 and go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Yeah, that's those Amazon gift cards.
look, those folks that spending $100 on some hatching eggs to put them in a $50 incubator crack me up.
Mm.
Sorry. And if that's you, hey, I still love you, but don't
Vote for
be
me, I'm
upset.
better.
Don't be upset when you don't have a great hatching rate.
Yeah, well,
Hey, you don't pay $100 for a dozen eggs and put them in a $45 incubator.
no.
Like, practice first.
I thought we were
You can
talking about
have,
brooding. You went back to incubating.
well, sorry.
You got on a soapbox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when we say heat, um, I am personally not a fan of heat lamps. I don't think that that's a secret. Do you use heat lamps?
Only when brooding outside.
Okay,
And I know that
so
sounds weird, but I can brood outside, done it successfully. It works. And they need a crowd load of heat.
yep. So it's really dependent on the time of year and what you're brooding. So game birds like button quail or turkeys are going to want to be a whole lot hotter longer than
Mm-hmm.
ducks who may only want heat for 47 seconds. You've never brooded ducks, have you?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So that you take them out of the incubator and you put them in the brooder and they look at you and they climb up on top of the brooder plate and they're like, "Yeah, we're good."
But I mean, that's the thing I like about a brooder plate. It keeps the ground warm as long as you keep your brooder elevated. You know, it keeps the ground warm. They can get under it when they're cool. They're smart enough to get out from under it when they're
Hmm.
not. And, you know, it works. They don't overheat or get too cold as long as you've got everything else adequate. If you got this ginormous 250-watt light bulb beaming down in the brooder, they don't really have room to escape.
No, and it has to have a cool spot. If you are using a brooder plate, though, make sure that you have it tilted so that they can touch their backs to it at some location, and that will allow them to choose how much heat that they want.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just like you like to be hotter or colder than somebody else, same concept. The biggest thing that I see in winter brooding that people miss, and this is just experience, um, is they incubate on the floor. Like put them in a
Yeah.
cardboard box or a tub or something right on the floor, and your floor is cold. I mean, I have hardwood. My hardwood is cold. Right now, it is cold, and my
Mm-hmm.
feet get cold when I'm on it. If your feet get cold touching the floor, then that cold is seeping through the floor of the brooder and will chill the chicks from the bottom up. So we think about room temperature and we think about heat lamp temperature and brooder plate temperature, but we forget about the floor. So make sure the brooders themselves are up. Put them on a piece of 4x4, or I have mine on furniture dollies so I can move them around, or up on
Man,
a
you catch them
table.
things on sale
Oh,
at
dang. I love those things.
Harbor Freight. And you put your things on and move around.
Mm-hmm.
That works out really good. Or I like how you got the tubs up on a shelf.
Mm-hmm. Just
That works.
anything to let the room temperature circulate underneath of the brooder. Doesn't have to be a lot. I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
you don't even have anything, maybe a towel would be better. But if you're on, if you're up north or even here right now where it's so cold, the floor's cold and that's going to come up through the floor of the brooder.
Yeah, it's
So
not
keep
good.
keep that in mind. And this takes a few degrees to chill a bird. They have zero capability of regulating their own body temperature until they're 10 days old, is when it
Yeah.
starts. So, um, but different species will like more heat. So I have found that the buttons like to be super hot and turkeys like to be super hot. But like the Coturnix quail, I mean, 10 days and they're ready to run out in the snow, I think, by themselves, like toddlers.
Yeah. So what I do is with mine that I've got some in my ginormous brooder now. And when it got to the point where I think it was like 10 days, not quite 2 weeks in, I just like turned it up on its side. The plate, instead of having it like this, I just turned it up on its side. And then a day or two goes by and I come by and they're not even checking it out. I was like, oh, I'm plugging that.
Hmm. I don't
And
even unplug mine anymore. I have window screens on the top of all my brooders, and I'll just take them out and set them up on top.
I
Because, I
guess
mean, I'm just washing them and redoing the next day, basically.
I didn't think about the making it to where, getting it to where they wouldn't mess on it.
Yeah.
But sticking
And
up on
working.
its like it just sticks up on its side, so I didn't have to take it out.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. All right, so we've got them hot, we've got them dry. I use stall pellets to keep everybody dry.
Stop pellets are great.
If your water tips over, stall pellets turns to sawdust, chicks are still dry. If you put them on a puppy pad, depending on how much water you tipped over, may still be wet.
Hope it ain't
Or
much because they won't soak up much.
or flakes. The water will kind of pool underneath of them, kind of get moldy and icky and cold. So
Mm-hmm.
I have used them all over the years. You just tell everybody to use puppy pads, and I have been using stall pellets for what, going on 2 years now, and I don't know that how it could be any better. You don't even have to change them because I only leave mine in there for like a week, and then they go out on wire. So you don't even have to change them. You just have to stir them. I have a 2-inch putty knife out there, and I
Mm-hmm.
just stir it up, make sure everything's nice and dry, and stir it
Yep.
up, and
You're
dump
done.
them at the end of at the end of the week, and move on.
Yeah,
Um,
I like that too.
and if
The stall pellets work well.
here's a little secret: if you have a water that leaks into your poop tray, you can take the stall pellets that are unused out of your brooders that you're fixing to dump and
Mm-hmm.
put them in that poop tray and
There you
wait
go.
about 5 minutes and come back and it will be sawdust. So they're reusable into your poop trays.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next up, we're going to do grow outs up to 8 weeks. Not like forever grow outs, just up to 8 weeks.
I mean, and they're pretty simple. Like to me, you don't want them wet because they get cold.
Mm-hmm.
They're little still. They can't regulate their body. That they can regulate it, but not if they're soaking wet.
No.
Um, you need an abundance of feeder space. A lot of people will get just these little feeders, little round ones that comes with a starter kit. And if you just got a couple birds, few, that's great. But depending on what kind of bird you're growing out, you need anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of feeder space per bird.
Mm-hmm.
So you want them to all be able to eat at the same time. That way they grow consistently. Because if you got some hogging the feed trough or the feed pan or whatever you're feeding in, and then, you got these others that have to eat what's left over, you're going to wind up with runts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going to work.
Yep. Yep. Feeder space. Even if it's free feeding, which you should be at this stage, you
Mm-hmm.
still need more than you think feeder space. I know I have been guilty of not giving them enough. And you can
I
see.
mean, I like to do like at minimum of 1 inch up until like probably 3 weeks.
Is this quail or chickens?
Chickens.
Okay.
Quail can go longer on 1 inch, but with chickens, after about 3 to 4 weeks, I really like 2 inches per chick. Quail, 1 inch per quail is enough probably all their life. I mean, their heads
Mm,
are
yeah, that's
not that
true.
big.
That's true.
And, when they're all sticking their head out the front of the cage, it's probably 1 inch wide anyway.
All right, we've left the most controversial subject for the last. So we both feed good quality, obviously, and no medicated feed around here.
Mm-mm.
So coccidiosis is brought in. It is not just in the air. You have to bring it in. So as long as your hands are clean, your brooder's clean, and the birds are dry, you should not have a coccidiosis problem.
You can make a coccidiosis problem.
You can throw some dirt in there. There is a breeder
Um,
that does that.
you
Um,
can have nasty brooders and
yes, you
birds with
could.
weak immune systems.
So the last subject we're going to talk about is natural selection. Um, So I had somebody come pick up some breast chicks yesterday from me, and
Yay.
one was looking a little puny, meaning standing there just, I don't know, puny looking, right? Not running around like the other ones, but it had always looked like that. And it was probably 3 weeks old. And by the time I was stirring them up, putting them in a box, it was fine. I couldn't even tell which one it was. Well, anyway, I just told the lady, I said, look, I lay no guarantees to it because I don't medicate. If they're going to be sickly, I kind of want them to drop at this stage. I don't want to put 3 months worth of feed into them for
Mm-mm.
them to be weak. And so that's the natural selection. If they were out in the wild, the you always want to be faster than the slowest one, right? Because the bear's going to eat the slowest one if it's chasing you. So the weakest one is what feeds the raccoons or the owls or the whatever's out there, right? And so we should think like that in the barns because we only want the most vigorous birds as breeders because we want a strong, healthy line going forward. And that is why you won't find any medications. I know in my barn, and I'm 99.9% sure in your barn, I mean, we just don't do it.
I mean, I got some garlic and some oregano,
Yeah, I got that too. But I've never bought
and I got that
Corid or anything like that.
$150 bottle that's like this tall that kills every kind of bug that you
Oh,
could
yeah.
ever have. But
Well,
no, I don't medicate Jack.
mm-mm,
I don't even like taking medicine myself.
mm-mm,
I do make a tincture that's garlic, echinacea, and cayenne, and my chickens get it, and I've taken it. It's kind of rough.
mm-mm,
The fix it that I make, um, it works really well. It's kind of rough. The uh, the cayenne will bring tears to your eyes and a lot of coughing, but I like to be very thoughtful of what I put into my body, and since I do put my chickens, I do eat them, and I do eat the eggs. Like I like not knowing that there's no crazy hocus pocus that's in there, and that's a personal preference. If you want to do it on your farm, hey,
mm.
your farm, your rules, your money, your chickens.
That's right. But just something to think about if I medicated that chick that looked puny to keep it alive to make the sale, is that the kind of chick that you want to buy as a buyer? And I don't, therefore I don't do it.
Yeah, that's me. I don't want somebody to be like, well, I bought these from you and it sucked.
Mhm.
Well, you didn't buy it from me
You stressed it. Now you can
because
stress it when you take it home. That's a whole different ballgame.
I
But
would have
as
I
far
would have
as like
ended that thing
fear,
beforehand.
yeah. Um, so you want to buy from a breeder that culls hard because moving it to your farm is a stressor and it needs to be healthy enough to withstand that stress.
Yeah, and there's a lot of controversy behind the culling thing,
Mhm.
but you know, if you buy a used car and you take it home and it breaks down, you're gonna be mad, right?
Mhm.
Well, if you get a chicken and you take it home and it don't chicken, you're gonna be mad. And we just don't want people mad at us.
Mhm.
So we try to make sure we have the best we can.
Mhm.
I ain't saying crap don't happen, but natural selection is a thing. And that is, to me, that's what helps keep a flock strong and vigorous is those three sets of threes.
Mhm. Well, we hope that helps somebody, one person.
At least,
Yep.
maybe.
Have a better experience with their birds this year.
Yep.
It's gonna be a
Make
busy
sure
year.
you give us a like and subscribe and follow and hit the bell, all that junk. And
Mm-hmm.
if you didn't like this, hey, we're sorry. Maybe next week.